All right.
We're going to do a quick little one-round mock draft here, just to kind of help bridge the gap um, as we're nearing the final stages of draft season. And Jonathan will have the odd teams, I'll have the even teams, and we are going to be drafting. Pretty simple. So let's get started.
Yeah. Well, at
All right.
one, Houston Tech or the Carolina Panthers, I think they're taking Bryce Young. That's just
Yeah.
what everybody's been saying. Started out as C.J. Stroud, now it's Bryce Young. I'm going to go Bryce Young.
Okay. That sounds good to me. So rumor has it that the Texans aren't going to take a quarterback at 2, which I would pretty strongly disagree with. Um, they need a quarterback. Davis Mills and uh, Case Keenum are their 2 quarterbacks right now. So they need someone unless they're wanting to tank for Caleb Williams. And I think if they draft a defense here, their defense would be good enough to keep them out of that. So I'm going to go CJ Stroud, who probably has the highest floor of any quarterback in this draft, and you're getting at least a Jared Goff level player day one.
Yeah, I like that pick. I think that's a great pick. And I think if they do that, then the Cardinals will take Will Anderson because I think he
Yeah,
has potential to be the best player overall in the draft.
I agree. I agree.
He is just phenomenal.
So the Colts apparently like Will Levis a whole lot. I like Will Levis quite a bit actually. I think he's underrated. I think or overhated would probably be the better term. People just hate on him for no reason. I wouldn't hate the pick here, but I'm gonna go with the guy with higher upside and the guy who has very similar tools to Jalen Hurts, who worked with Shane Steichen in Philadelphia, and that would be Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think they'll take Anthony Richardson just because he has the highest upside. And now they're one of the worst teams in the league.
Yeah.
So, right now, number 5, the Seahawks. I'm going to have them go Jalen Carter because I think they can fix his personal issues. And I think he has, once again, another shot to be the best player in the draft.
Yeah. Um, at 6, I'm gonna go with the highest upside corner in this class for the Lions. They traded away Jeff Okuda, so even though they brought in Cameron Sutton and Emmanuel Mosley, they still need a true number 1 corner, and you have the chance of getting that and more with Christian Gonzalez.
Yeah, I like that pick. Yeah, the Raiders at 7. Well, they need something. And so I've been
Yeah.
thinking about it. And seeing as how they have literally no position but receiver and one edge rusher now, kind of Max Crosby, I'm gonna go Will Levis.
Interesting. Okay.
I think people are a bit low on Will Levis too.
Yeah. So for the Falcons, um, you really buffed up the defense this offseason. You got Jesse Bates, um, got Bud Dupree, uh, David Onyemata, Calais Campbell. So I think one more piece could make this defense top 10. I don't think that's crazy to say. And that piece, in my opinion, is Tyree Wilson, who is he low on here? I don't see him. Tyree Wilson. Oh wow, he's low.
Wow. Yeah, well, I completely agree with you. I think they are, a sneaky good team next season. And then
Yeah,
since the ninth pick, I think the Bears, thinking about it now, I'm going to go Paris Johnson Jr. just because I think he completely fits their system. Just a great tackle. And I don't think Peter
yeah,
Skoronski quite has the length to play tackle.
yeah. So for the Eagles, you're getting maybe the best corner in this class at pick 10. I mean, you get Devon Witherspoon at pick 10, which is insane. Normally you'd have to trade up for him, but I mean, he is probably one of the safest players in this class. You know he's going to be good. At least a high-end number 2 corner. Um so I think that's a no-brainer for the Eagles. You brought back James Bradbury and Darius Slay, but they're by no means uh young players.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. He plays really hard. He plays really hard.
Yeah.
That's about all I got to say. All right, and then the Titans here, I'm going to go Jackson Smith and Jigba just because they need a playmaker for an old Brian Tannehill.
Oh yeah. Love the pick.
Yeah.
All right. Texans at 12. Um I do think they'd go defense here. I don't think they'd go double offense. Um so I think they're gonna take an edge rusher or just a piece on the defensive line that is very similar to what D'Amico Ryans had in San Francisco with Eric Armstead, and that's Lucas Van Ness.
Yeah, I love that pick. Love Lucas Van Ness. Love Lucas Van Ness. And
Yeah.
then the Eagles, I think this is not the Eagles, the Jets. I think this is the best case scenario for the Jets with Peter Skoronski still on the board. He can play every position on the offensive line, definitely has the most versatility. I think they have him as a tackle on their draft boards, but I'm going Peter Skoronski.
Like the pick. So for the Patriots, I think at this point, um, you're looking at a corner, and you could go Deontay Banks, but I'm gonna go Joey Porter Jr. He just feels like a Patriot. Um, I don't really have anything else to say. He just kind of feels like a Patriot.
Yeah, I love that. Joey Porter Jr., he's my number one corner in the class. All right. And then at 15, it's the Packers. The Packers need something. They just need something. Probably an edge rusher. I'm gonna go Miles Murphy. I'm a lot higher on Miles Murphy than most people. I think he'd be great in Green Bay.
Yeah, that's probably the pick I would make too. For Washington, um, you could go Deontay Banks. Uh, really complete that secondary, but their tackle play was quietly really bad last year. So I'm gonna take Broderick Jones to help solidify that line.
Yeah, I think that's the smart pick. I think that's the smart pick. Really strong guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so now the Steelers, they just really need a corner. Really, really need a corner. So I'm gonna go Deontay Banks.
Yeah, love the pick. So the Lions at 18, and you went defense with your first pick. I'm gonna go defense again, and take the pass rusher with Hassan Reddick level upside. That is Nolan Smith. Um, crazy, crazy productive. You just worry about how thin he is, and you wonder if he can produce in the NFL at less than 240 pounds.
Yeah, I love that pick. You know, the Lions, the offense didn't seem to be their problem. They just need a better defense,
Yes, they do.
much better defense. All right, and now the Bucks. The Bucks here at what is it, 19? I'm, they don't really have anything left from the Tom Brady era.
Yeah,
Baker Mayfield
it's
is like
crazy. I mean,
their
they have the
quarterback.
receiving core, I guess, like
Yeah,
about half of the receiving core,
yeah, and Baker Mayfield,
about half the
but
defense.
no run game or anything. Nah, I mean their defense isn't top 10 anymore. I'm gonna go Bijan Robinson, just a franchise altering player. I think they need something to keep the fans
Wow.
entertained, so they don't become the Succaneers
Okay.
again.
All right. So the Seahawks here, and you went Jalen Carter, and I love the pick. I think I'm gonna go offense here. Help out Gino. Make sure this window stays open, and you could get the receiver who has the best chance to become a true number one in this class with Quentin Johnston. And if you can have two true number one receivers in Quentin Johnston and DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett in the slot, that would be maybe the scariest receiver core in the NFL.
Yeah, there's only a couple of places I would feel comfortable with drafting Quentin Johnson, and that's one of them. He could learn behind DK Metcalf, because really he just needs a little bit of progression, and then it'll be good. Now, right here, the Los
Yeah.
Angeles Chargers. I've been thinking Michael Mayer. They really need another position to help Justin Herbert, and I'm gonna go Dalton Kincaid. I'm gonna go Dalton Kincaid.
Okay. So the Ravens here, and I think corner at this spot would probably be a reach with Deontay Banks off the board and Joey Porter. Um, but there is a receiver that I'd feel comfortable taking here, and that is their next biggest need, and that's Jordan Addison, who I think automatically probably becomes the Ravens' second best receiver, second or third, depends on how you feel about Rashad Bateman. But
Yeah, I love that pick. Maybe they'll hit this time. Maybe they'll hit this time.
yeah,
Now, the Vikings here, they need everything on the defense. Absolutely every single position. So, let's see here. I think I'm gonna go Will McDonald,
okay,
just because just an interesting pick. Just an interesting pick.
yeah, yeah, that's an interesting pick. So for Jacksonville, here you get the piece that I think would really fill out your defense, mainly your secondary. Um, you have uh, Darius Williams and Tyson Campbell as your outside corners. You have Andre Cisco and Rayshon Jenkins at safety. You don't really have a slot guy. And Brian Branch at the next level can be an elite slot corner.
Yeah, I love that pick. I think it's great. Um, well, now the Giants. The Giants with most good corners off the board, but they're the Giants, and they're going to take another corner anyways. I'm going Emmanuel Forbes.
Okay. Don't hate it. Don't hate it. The Cowboys here, there have been rumors that they would take a tight end here, but it would only be Michael Mayer, and he just happened to drop here. Um, so that's good for them. And you could reach on an interior guy, Brian Bazee, Kalijah Cansey, Mozzie Smith, but I think I'm going to go with the piece that really completes their offense, so Michael Mayer.
Yeah, I love that pick. Makes perfect sense. And so now the Bills, I'm going to go Jahmyr Gibbs. It's rumored to them,
Okay.
earlier, and he fell. He's still here. I'm going to go with him.
So for the Bengals, you steal Darnell Wright at 28, who I mean, now you can move on from Leo Collins and you can trade um, Jonah Williams. And now your new tackle duo would be Orlando Brown and Darnell Wright. And I think that would be much improved from last year.
I think that that is perfect. Um, you know, they Lyle Collins played like crap last year. It's just
Yeah,
flatly
he did. Yeah.
horrible. Um, now the Saints. The Saints last year they drafted Chris Olave. You know, they need something fun for Derek Carr because obviously they think they're still in contention for no reason, pushing money back every year. So I'm gonna go Zay Flowers. Plays really hard,
That's
really
actually
aggressive receiver,
too.
you know, and he's just small. He's
Yeah.
just small, but he plays big.
Yeah, with the concerns around Michael Thomas, um, that pretty much completes their receiving core. Zay Flowers in the slot and Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed on the outside. All right, so the Eagles at 30, and you get Kalijah Cansey here, which I wouldn't call it a steal. I think PFF has him a little high, but I mean, you lost Javon Hargrave to the Niners in free agency, and Fletcher Cox is about 35 at this point. So you pair Kalijah Cansey with Jordan Davis, and that'd be pretty scary.
Yeah, yeah. Seems like a very Howie Roseman pick going defensive line again. Um, now the Kansas City Chiefs to end it, man. Now I'm gonna go Josh Downs because I think he's a sneaky good receiver, very underrated. And what does Kansas City not have any of? Receivers. If they have a receiver, I think Patrick Mahomes will take them back to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, currently their best receiver is Kadarius Toney, and listen, I like Kadarius Toney. He developed, um, he developed nicely last year, but you don't want him to be your number one receiver. So, yeah,
Yeah,
I I agree with that. It's probably good, and I like this
I think
draft.
we did pretty well in this draft.
Yeah,
Yeah, looks pretty good to
so
me.
I'll stop that. And yeah, that was fun. We will be doing another mock draft, probably with 3 or 4 people instead of just 2. Uh, we'll record it Wednesday night. It'll go up the day of the draft, Thursday morning, and we will be live streaming the draft on this channel on Thursday night. And we hope you'll tune in to watch it with us and see our live reactions and
Yeah,
grades. Should be super fun. Should be great. Um,
it will be great.
that's gonna be all. Yeah. Um, thank you for watching this mock draft, and we will see you in our next one. Peace.